Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Wrestle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Hallbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to RASSLE Rock. We actually have a live show. We actually have a regular show that we're doing. It's not a pay-per-view or anything. Oh my God.
It's not our fault that people releasing pay-per-view every like 7 days. I mean, come on.
It seems a little redundant with the special events. Just relax a little bit, just for a minute.
Well, WWE's had 3 pay-per-views in 4 weeks.
I can't keep up. I just can't.
I'm trying to keep up, man. This is it hasn't been bad, I'll tell you that. The special events or pay-per-views or whatever you want to call them, they've been a lot better than the regular shows. So if I can,
Clash of Champions ended up being a really good show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then NXT blew me out of the water, man. I couldn't believe it. It was great. Takeover 31.
NXT looks like it's back to its old form, more of a sporting event look and everything with the new pay-per-view, the most recent pay-per-view. It felt like
the fact that they like incorporated sort of their own Thunderdome situation, like on the top, and then there's like the fans that are caged in, like right in the front. That's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. I hope they don't overdo it with. I mean, it seems that way when they're like banging on the thing. We're like, calm down. You're overplaying it. Calm it down just a tad, but it's cool.
You got to remember, these are fans that haven't been into a building to watch live wrestling, and
they're also fans who were like, "Hey, cheer for the good guys, boo the bad guys." Probably.
I'm sure they've been instructed, and I'm also sure that they didn't actually pay to get in. So right, I'm sure they were
paid extra.
Right,
yeah.
They've definitely been instructed, but yeah, I thought it was really cool looking the chain link, the black chain link around the it's better than just having the plexiglass.
Yeah,
man. And it gave it like more of a kind of a gritty, like an underground type of feel, like an actual underground, not like Raw Underground. Yeah.
A fight.
What do you mean, like Raw Underground, where a wrestler you haven't seen in 3 weeks just is getting punched in the face? You got to Shane McMahon screaming on a microphone while it's happening.
The Velveteen Underground.
Yeah, man. It's 2 weeks in a row we haven't had Raw Underground, and no one's complained yet except Braun Strowman. But that's pretty much what we got, man. I think it was all due to the proximity and the recent scare that they had, the medical, whatever you want to call it, the ongoing global crap fest that's been going on. There was a lot of people in quarantine. They're like, hey, maybe a bunch of people around the ring really close together isn't such a great idea right now. But no Raw Underground these past 2 weeks. What do you guys think? Is it dead, or do you think it's going to come back?
It'll come back. I think they got to figure out how they're going to do it, because they're not going to be able to have 40 people surrounding a ring with no ropes, and then they just can't have that amount of people there. They just can't. So they got to figure out how they're going to do it. And honestly, I don't really care if it comes back or not anyway. So
I have to agree. I think it's going to come back, but I definitely don't care if it does. I don't care if it does or if it doesn't.
That's how I feel. I thought Raw this week was a better pace show than most of their shows. Mm-hmm. I thought it went faster, and I mean, storyline wise, there was only a couple highlights, but at least the show moved at a better pace and wasn't like really confusing. Tozawa's not getting eaten by a shark and then showing up the next week, and
I have to say, I'm not. Am I alone in thinking that the Retribution has fallen flat on its face? Or does it matter somehow?
Not after this Monday. Did you not see what happened this week?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still. I'm still not all the way buying it, you know?
Well, is he?
No one's buying it. Trust me, no one's buying it. But it's just anything's an improvement over the crap fest than it was.
That boy ain't right. That's his name. That's the guy's name.
Do we truly believe that? Of course, if no one watched the swerve, was Mustafa Ali he may be the leader of Retribution? Do we believe that, or is he just another cog in the wheel for this group and then a bigger name? They need a bigger name than Mustafa to be the leader.
Yeah, it's going to be Ryback.
You know what, though? That would be shocking. Yeah, as much as I'm not a fan of Ryback, that would actually, that would cause headlines.
I mean, his name fits the stupid bill, like with the stupid names bill. Ryback goes right inside that. They didn't have to give him another stupid name. He's already got one.
But my whole thing is, why do the three guys, Dio, Dijakovic, which I actually finally practiced to say it right, and the guy from that bad Australian tag team from NXT, why do they move like they're like zombies, like the heads, and like how they the Dio is like slithering all over the ground?
This is a creative decision. A decision made by the members of creative for them to be all zombified.
It's not great, but you know what? I think it's a step in a better direction than just having
in a direction. Yes,
I thought the twist leading up to it was very well done. I thought that was very well done when Mustafa calling out MVP and then saying, "I want all three of you at the ring when I wrestle." I thought that was really well done. And then when Retribution surrounded the ring and MVP turned around and said, "Are you with us or not?" And then he joined in and then ran out to the ring. I thought it was all very well paced. It was definitely the only really entertaining storyline on Raw last night. That and Randy's speech in the beginning was pretty well done, even though it was cheesy. I mean, to make his Splinter Cell attack sound like it was way darker than it was.
He made it sound like it was just like a precise killing of every single one of those people. And then I snuck up behind Christian and I said, "How's Edge?" And then I killed him.
Meanwhile, it was really Christian going, "Should I lay here and just pull this to the top of me?"
Oh man, it was funny. No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole Randy Orton. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the journey that we went on Monday night. It all ended up with Drew McIntyre getting pinned, which the commentators really should have put over more, because that's the first time Drew McIntyre got pinned since Survivor Series last year. So, I mean that's a huge deal. And they really were just like, "Oh, he just pinned the WWE champion." And then they moved on with everything. I don't know. But it's
not a fan of champions getting pinned at all. In non-title situations, I'm not a fan of that. It seems like WWE was doing it a lot, too often. Back when the champ, when it seems like they don't mind having a weak champion sometimes. When who was it? What was the guy's name? Damn it, I can't remember his name. The Maharaji. Modern day Maharaji.
What was his name? Jinder Mahal.
Yes.
Jinder Mahal, yes.
He got pinned 19 times as champion. And they were like, "Nope, he's still champion though." So
yeah.
It's they didn't mind having him be a weak champion.
Yeah. I mean, they did it well with this, I believe. Like I said, he hasn't been pinned since Survivor Series, so they've been holding it off. They haven't. They could have played that card several times if they chose not to. So I'm happy with it. I think it's. They need to make a bigger deal out of it, though, don't you think?
They should. Hopefully, they catch up with that. But I mean, who were you all kidding? What's one of the things that WWE's been seriously lacking for years is their commentary is absolutely god awful. They don't know how to get people over. They're too busy trying to plug the pay-per-view that's like within 5 days.
It's because they're too produced. They're way too produced. They're told what to say so often, and they make sure they have to hit the buzzwords. They got to hit I think kind of like the best at making it seem spontaneous is Corey Graves, because he does throw in some lines here and there that are definitely not somebody else. They're not like somebody put that in his head. But I definitely see that exact same thing where it doesn't seem like thoughts that they're coming up with as and now, being somebody who analyzes it. They're not analyzing it at all from an objective party. They're just making sure they hit the buzzwords and put over the pay-per-views and the big characters of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way it's been for years now with commentary on WWE. Wish it wasn't like that. I miss the days of course, I miss the days of like Monsoon and Heenan and Lawler and Ross and stuff like that. Even, Michael Cole and Taz had better chemistry than these out there now.
You can go as early as JBL. As much as JBL was unliked and all that, the guy was a hell of a commentary. He's sorely missing now compared to the guys they have now. And and the thing was, Bradshaw would always show up for the pay-per-views. Always made the big fights seem like they were really big matches. And he had great history knowledge, great wrestling history knowledge that he would belt out while he was talking. And these guys, all it is they're hype men. That's all they are. It's just hype. Hype. WWE shop. Go to pay-per-view. It's like, dude, come on. Like, we already know all this. We already know it's coming because the wrestlers are plugging it. Like,
we're already subscribed to the network. We're watching it on the network. Calm down with telling us to subscribe to the network. Showing us commercials for the network on the network is like, give us a break. Maybe put that on the free version of the network. Maybe not the one that we're already paying for. If you can separate what commercials go where. I mean, have you seen The Social Dilemma? They know how to figure that stuff out.
I always had a big problem with that, especially during the pre-shows of pay-per-views, where they'll show you a commercial. They'll cut away from a match to show you a commercial for the show that you're about to watch. So many times. It's a little ridiculous. Speaking of commentators, who were the people on NXT Takeover?
How weird was that?
Who were those people?
They were just bodies because Beth Phoenix and I guess Barrett are calling it from a studio or their house, the matches. Mm-hmm. And they just put two bodies there next to Todd Phillips. Is it Todd Phillips or the other one? I forgot his name. Basically, Todd Phillips 2.0. They put two people, put the one, like, not to sound rude, but Beth Phoenix talking, it's a black woman sitting in there. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, it was like a bad stunt double in a movie when they put it like in a comedy and they put a bad stunt double on purpose in there. That's what it felt like.
So it was, the guy's name is Vic Josephs.
Vic Joseph.
But they just had like Wade Barrett and Beth Phoenix do it from home, but like dubbed it over. Somebody else go, hello.
They didn't say a word. They just sat there staring at the monitor while the match was going on. They weren't even watching the match. They were just staring in the monitor as Vic Joseph was sitting there calling the match from the actual desk. It was so weird. And by the way, I'm catching up on the pay-per-view right now. I watched everything except for the Swerve and the Io Shirai match. And how Swerve is not a bigger name in WWE blows my mind. This kid is awesome. He's so good.
I just watched the Gargano Damon Priest match.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was really good as well.
Yeah, they really were on fire. Dude, that finish that Priest used, that was like the spinning
neck breaker off the
ropes.
Gosh
dang. Gosh dang.
Yeah, Gargano just ate that, man. Was that the only match you saw from the pay-per-view?
So far, yeah. I'm watching it right now.
Oh, sir, you're missing so many things. I envy you that you haven't seen it yet because it's so good. Like every match is so good. I wasn't crazy about the Candice LeRae Io Shirai match. It was a little slow for my taste, and I think Candice LeRae is dumb. But other than that, not that she's dumb as a person, but like if you watch the match, and sorry, I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but if you watch the match, she's very slow paced. She's doing a lot of like punches and kicks, but they're not like with intent to harm. It's like intent to like, hey, get up, I'm better than you. You're in there with the champion. You don't have it in the bag. What the hell are you doing? Why are you smiling? Why are you talking trash? Like you're in a championship match. 0 times has it ever worked out. It's like, yeah, you get to talk trash and smile and laugh around and then go on to win the championship. It doesn't work like that. Like it's
you don't got to beat me. I got to beat you.
I don't know. All I know is that Finn Balor Kyle O'Reilly match, dude, just brutality, dude.
That's match of the year.
Yeah, it's definitely a candidate.
Yeah, man.
That was my friend at work was saying. That's why I'm watching. I mean, he was like, and the speculation in his mind is that he said that it looked like Balor like broke his jaw, and they're like, oh, they're gonna make him vacate the title, and like it just got vacated like a month ago. So I'm curious to see what it looks like from my perspective.
I'm just, like I said, I'm watching the pay-per-view now, and I'm just watching. It's so wild how they're the same company, and like all the crazy things that NXT does right. Just instead of doing like backroom skits, they just show the guys getting ready for their matches, and they just show Finn Balor trying to like get his thoughts together before he goes in the ring, and then they even do the big match feel where they actually show him walking from the back up to the actual entrance ramp, and before they come and do their entrance, it was just so well done, man. It's just, and then you go on Raw, and Braun Strowman shows up, and he's mad because Raw Underground's not there. And don't get me wrong, Keith Lee's the one that actually agrees to wrestle him, and they had some killer spots. And I don't know if it helped Keith Lee yet. I'm still trying to figure out this whole he gets hit with finishers but never loses thing, and it's still supposed to make him strong. I don't understand that yet.
Yeah, Keith Lee is kind of a mystery. It seems like he has all these big matches. He's in main event spots a lot, but he never loses, but he never really wins either. It's usually some kind of schmuzz, or like this Monday was a double count out. And it's probably just to further the feud, at least this time. But
did you guys see the count out? Did any of you guys see the count out? They went out to the ring. They punched each other like 3 times here. 9, 10. It's like, wait, what? And like, it was over. They didn't even count. It was hysterical.
I had to go back and listen to it, man, because like I like the ref was counting so fast, like it was ridiculous. It was like 1, 2, 3. He was counting like it was nothing. Like he was just counting seconds, and that's not how you do it. And unless there's a count out happening, you don't do that in professional wrestling. Something is going on with the referees. I'm telling you, they have to turn this into an angle because it's every damn week something happens with the referee, and it's usually on Raw. If they don't turn this into an angle.
It usually happens on sports, like when someone's home team is losing, they're like, "Well, it's the referees, it's the refs. The refs are in the pocket of the other teams."
People claim that all the time.
I'm just saying, though, how are you going to have the big reveal with those refs? You're going to have another wrestler that nobody cares about, hasn't been around in a while to be the leader. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Mustafa Ali, but that twist was really. I hope he's not the leader because that's really bad.
I like it, honestly. If they can turn this into, because they've been trying to do something with Mustafa Ali for a while, and then they just bury him, and then they bring him back for a little while, and then they bury him, and then he's injured, and then this, that, and the other thing. Like, don't forget, like last year, he was possibly going on to WrestleMania to face Daniel Bryan, but then he got injured, and Kofi Kingston took his place.
Dude, the stuff he did with Randy Orton. Think about that. Remember how good he was against Randy when, like, at the end of the match, Randy gave him a little squeezy squeeze.
Yeah.
It was like
squeezy squeeze.
Be like, hey, this kid's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He just hasn't had that time to be good yet. And if he can stay away from injuries, I think he'll be okay. It depends on what they do with him. I mean, they could turn around and give him some stupid name and just be like, yeah, he's the leader or whatever. And he turns into like the little Guido of Retribution. Or he turns it, like it's very popular. Nunzio, yeah.
I know you're not making that a knock because a lot of people know how good Nunzio or Little Guido was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
My whole thing is like they screwed the reveal up. They should have never showed any of Retribution's faces, and then let Ali do the twist there. And then they should have pulled the hoods back instead of those weird monster face masks they wear. And they should have showed it was Dio and Dijakovic and the other guy, and that would have been a massive impact, like him smiling in front of the three of them, with their masks off, and then maybe even having the two girls in the ring with them. And then you said all the speculation, like, why are these people here? But, like, I don't know, like him standing there and you're all twisting like a bunch of, like, Resident Evil or, like, whatever. What's the other Silent Hill characters?
It's just a glitch in the system.
Yeah.
Like the 2K20 glitches.
I'm trying to think what else we missed. Trying to think what else we're missing from Raw, but that would probably be seeing a Firefly Funhouse on a Raw for the first time in I don't know how long. And
since the last
I kind of like this Kevin Owens versus The Fiend. I think this could be good.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, it'd be real good. I think seeing like Alexa Bliss on SmackDown going like straight heel and turn on Kevin Owens or whatever during whatever the KO show, because that was another like superstar shakeup or something. They were like letting Kevin Owens do the Kevin Owens show on SmackDown. Was that the case? That's how that worked?
Yeah.
So it was cool to end.
Sorry, they just plumb forgot that they could do a superstar shakeup. Like they haven't done it for months, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, we did say that we could do that, right? Okay, the draft is in a week. Okay, let's do it now. Why not?"
What do they call? What is like the more official term for that now? They're calling it something different.
I thought it was superstar shakeup. They were calling it the
wild card for a while.
Yeah,
that's the wild card, but I'm not sure what they call it now because I'm completely confused myself. Do we think that Aleister Black is going to be the third member of the new Wyatt family? Or
it could be.
Or they're just going to finally blow that feud off, which never really got off the ground in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see them doing something like, we'll have a match on Raw or SmackDown, and then that'll be the end of the feud. And I mean, they've already wrestled like 2 or 3 times now, so it's the feud's pretty much is what it is. It's just they keep on continuing it for some reason. They keep on trying to it's not a bad feud. Like it's not like the two definitely have chemistry, but just they never really got anything behind it other than you brought up this and you brought up that, and there was whatever. It was a little odd, but. Speaking of Raw, to wrap things up, we had about 32 segments with Seth Rollins and Murphy and the Mysterio family and everything else.
I didn't want to talk about it.
I honestly, I didn't hate it. I'm kind of cool with Murphy turning on Rollins. We kind of knew that was, we saw that they were leading up to that. If this leads to like Dominic versus Seth versus Buddy Murphy, then I'm all for it, man. Why not? If it's like a triple threat or something.
Are they still doing anything with like Rey Mysterio's daughter and stuff? Like,
yes.
What I missed that. What did they do with it this time?
Murphy attacked Rollins, and then Rollins attacked Murphy, and then Aaliyah ran down and kind of threw herself over him. It's like, no, stop, you can't do this anymore. And then Dominic and Ray and whatever his wife's name is hit the ring and just kind of being like, what? What are you doing? What? Like they kind of look around like, I don't understand why you're protecting this man. You know, they did that whole terrible acting thing.
He's 10 years older than you, girl. Stop.
Technically,
I don't know. I don't even know how much older he. I don't know the age difference, but
it's kind of gross.
It's weird. Yeah, it's very weird.
Way, it's weird and kind of gross and borderline illegal.
Yeah,
depending on what country you're in. Yeah, man, but I'm kind of digging it. It's something. You know, it's that soap opera-ish storyline thing. I just wish that Rollins would stop going after the eyes. I'm tired of the eyeball gimmick. Like now he went after Murphy's eyes, so we're gonna have 3 people running around on Raw with eye patches. It's like, come on, man. Like, think about that for a second. That's ridiculous. And nobody's a pirate. So
they're gonna start a faction called the Patch Batch.
The Patch Batch. We're the Patch Batch Kids. To wrap up everything that happened on Raw, I gotta say the women's tag team match was actually really good. I didn't mind Nia Jax this week. I mean, she didn't do anything. She wasn't good.
Shayna looked absolutely brutal. Yeah. She looked like the old Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, definitely.
She looked like the reason why we all hated Shayna in NXT. And Liv Morgan was a little over the top, but it was doable. Poor Ruby Riott. Wow, man, they just beat that girl. Like, I don't know what she did, but ever since she got the Raw, it's just they just make her get destroyed constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. She was getting destroyed for a while, and then she got injured, and now she came back, and she's getting destroyed again. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But they need more women's tag teams if they're going to continue with this women's tag team championship thing. Like, I'm tired of them just throwing people together. Now we got Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose for some reason because they're blonde. That's their gimmick. They're blonde. That's why they're teaming together.
The logic behind it.
The entire logic behind it.
I dig it. Sure. Just rope them together.
Yeah, why not? One thing I saw in the news, if we can get away from Monday Night Raw and from the actual wrestling shows, it's possible that Paige is trying to start a union in WWE. This was only sent out from a tweet where she said, "I learned a lot about unionism today," and that could mean a number of things, but a lot of people are speculating this is like she's trying to get something started here. What do you guys think?
If it works, but how many wrestlers have already tried that over the last 30 years, 40 years? Jesse Ventura, Bret Hart, all these guys, and it's no knock on Paige, but this is Jesse Ventura and Bret Hart, and they couldn't get the guys to rally around them. Like, I don't know. It's a different generation, though. Maybe they will.
It's a way different time. You know what I mean? Way more accessibility to anything and everything. So, like, information is way more at everyone's fingertips. You know what I mean? Like, back then, you had to, like, go through an encyclopedia or go to the library to find out information. Now you just go, well, Siri, what the heck?
This is also coming at a time where WWE is pretty much trying to rule wrestlers' lives like they've always been doing that, but now with the word that they're going to be paying them less money, they're trying to get them to sign new contracts. They're trying to rule their stuff. They can't have a Twitch, YouTube, or anything like that. They're pretty much trying to run everything. and they're still not calling them employees or giving them health insurance. So, I mean, if Paige wants to start something and if people get behind it, they have plenty of legs to stand on, because this is public knowledge now that WWE is not the best place to work. And it's not the best work environment.
Right.
So, more power. If that's what. Good.
Could this be in some way they go, oh, well, Paige did some other violation thing. All right, let's get rid of her. You know what I mean? Like it's like some excuse, some political sacrifice that Paige will be to like end the idea of unions, because unions have been the thing that have scared the boys forever. When I say the boys, I'm including the girls, the boys and the girls forever. It has scared the locker room forever, because you'll lose your spot. You'll lose you'll lose what you worked for. Like, you'll have to start all over again somewhere else or find a different career. Like, it's tough. It's always been the thing that many of the wrestlers are afraid of.
Yeah.
But once again, it's a new time.
It is a new time. It's one of those things where everybody.
Or a new page, if you will.
What's that?
Or a new page, if you will.
A new page.
Flip a new page. Yeah.
The new page in the book, in the Union book.
Yeah.
There we go. Go back in time. Have them. Have her join Union with Mankind and Ken Shamrock and Test. Big Show.
And Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was in the Union. He was in the Union. He was the one against unions, and he was in the faction called the Union. Oh, the irony.
I forgot about that group.
Oh, everybody did. It was only around for like 3 days.
I think Test was in it. Wasn't Test in it too?
Yeah, it was Test, Ken Shamrock, Big Show, and Mankind, and then Vince McMahon. Because this was around the time of Ministry of Darkness, before the whole, it was me all along.
They were all walking around like Hacksaw Jim Duggins with a 2x4 everywhere. It's so dumb. Yeah. Oh my God. Everybody thinks the Attitude Era was so great.
They had inflatable rats. Protest signs.
They just put it outside the Undertaker's locker room. A giant rat and a bunch of dudes are out there smoking. drinking monsters and smoking outside.
You believe the BS that he brought up at Wrestlers Court?
Oh my God. Yeah, man. A lot of stuff going on this week. NXT. I almost feel bad talking about NXT because you didn't see it yet, man. That's okay. I'm hearing both Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor were injured in that match. Not too seriously, but seriously enough to be off TV for a while, which really, really sucks. And the ending of that was a little weird. First, I thought it was like a jacked up Pat McAfee, but it turned out to be our boy Ridge Holland, who loves rugby so much. Turned up with a beaten and battered Adam Cole. So we're not sure what's happening with Ridge Holland and the Undisputed Era. We don't know what's going on with Kyle O'Reilly, how injured he is. It might be something with his mouth. I think I heard something about his teeth broke or something like that. Something along those lines. But a lot of ramifications after that.
Finn. I don't know if you remember the last major match he had. He wrestled Thatcher, and Finn has been wrestling this really stiff, almost like strong style the last couple matches. And Kyle O'Reilly really complimented that match with his jiu-jitsu style. Those boys laid into each other. That match was. If you're into like technical wrestling, this match is a masterpiece. Like, these guys just beat the hell out of each other. And like I said, everything was done right from the video spots leading up to it, to them walking down to the entrance ramp, to Finn picking him up at the end and shaking his hand at the end. Like, it was just well done. And like I said, whatever they've done with the new NXT with this metal cage, and he went back to the black ring. They don't even have the yellow ropes anymore. I like it. It's more the old NXT before they tried to compete against AEW and basically just made it another Raw.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like the NXT that could compete against AEW.
Yeah. If they keep up with stuff like this. And I heard a lot of people saying it's like, before the match, they were like, yeah, this doesn't have any lead up or anything. Like he won like a gauntlet match or whatever. And people were complaining all the time with WWE. It's like, oh, there's a pay-per-view match because it's 2 weeks away and we need an opponent for the champion. So they just kind of picked one out of the air. This only had 2 weeks build up, and it was a phenomenal build up. It was absolutely crazy. It was wonderfully written, wonderfully done. If they just threw this together at the last second, then that writer deserves an award because that was absolutely fantastic. And the match itself blew me out of the water.
Well, the rumor is they're breaking them up. Undisputed Era is done.
Well, I heard that they were considering doing keeping 2 of them baby faces and 2 of them heels, and keeping them together as the Undisputed Era, but not having them always agree with each other, but be like, well, we're undisputed, so we can't dispute. Stop disputing.
Guys, we're undisputed. What are you doing?
We got to commit to the name, y'all.
But the entire pay-per-view, the entire takeover, I thought was absolutely great. Another thing that I was freaking out about is they're finally bringing back Halloween Havoc. Yeah. I saw the preview for it, and I think that was like I had the biggest smile on my face when I saw it. I'm like, finally, it's about damn time they're bringing back Halloween Havoc. I hope they bring back Spin.
You think Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon are going to wrestle on and they get to fight over who gets to howl at the beginning of their matches?
Yeah, man. Ember Moon coming back just in the nick of time for Halloween. That was a really nice surprise, too. I had no idea that it was even a female under that mask because there was build-up for weeks about this mysterious person coming in on a motorcycle, and there was all, everything was all night vision and stuff.
Ember Moon had like fangs too, right? Or she has fangs, right?
I don't think she had fangs. Maybe she did. I don't remember. But I know she had the weird contact lenses in to make her a wolf-like.
I don't remember.
No.
I was never a fan. I don't know. I just was never a big fan of her.
I like hearing call her what?
Call her Gang Girl.
Gang Girl. I'm gonna start the mood.
The mood.
With Hedge and Drew. No, I'm excited for it. I like Ember Moon. What'd you say?
Hedge and Kristen.
Hedge and Christina.
Oh man.
I liked her when she was in NXT. I thought she was pretty good. She never did a thing on the main roster, Raw or SmackDown. They bumped her around a couple times, and then she got injured. I'm glad they put her back in NXT. I think she's going to do really well there. Toni Storm is back. She was in NXT UK for a while. She won the Mae Young Classic, I believe, not too long ago, a year or so ago. And she's been doing really good. I'm glad she's back. I want to see. I don't know who they're going to put against Io Shirai next up. Who's going for the championship? It's going to be right away. If they're going to do like a tournament or whatever battle royal, whatever they usually do. They usually make up some reason.
Stacked roster, really. Like their NXT's roster is so stacked, especially like the women's division for NXT's.
NXT women's division is just insanely good. Like, I'm watching the girls wrestle right now, and it was the best ref bump I've seen in years. Io missing the moonsault right into the ref. That looked real. That looked like a real bump for a change. Good job.
The ref did a better job than the girls did.
It's actually a really good match.
Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad. It was the least good out of all the 5 matches, which is saying something because every other match was absolutely fantastic. It's just that's the only match to me that 5. What's that?
The Santos and Swerve match is what I'm watching right now, and that's pretty damn good.
Like I said, I don't get how Swerve's not bigger than he is. He is that good. Like he's so fluid in the ring, and I like his mellow, soft-spoken style, which is a lot different than most people right now. I like his whole character. So,
and I was saying during the watch along that I think this might be Swerve's first NXT Takeover. I might be wrong about that, but I don't believe I've ever seen him on one. So hopefully this elevates him at least a little, because this match was absolutely fantastic.
I think he lost on 2 takeovers before this. If I'm right, he was in the tag match with they did a 6-man tag with Fandango and Tyler, and then I think he had one other match besides that. But
that's right. Yeah, I think that was in your house or something, right?
Just
one of them.
Really good record.
Yeah. Going back to the women's division, Triple H did a conference call after NXT Takeover, and they were asking him about the return of Toni Storm and Ember Moon. And he said, you know what? NXT has the best women's division on the planet, anywhere. And I honestly believe he's not wrong. I don't think that was just him putting over NXT. I think he's actually telling the truth. I think it's a better division than WWE. Certainly, definitely better than AEW. I don't think TNA has that much of a women's division. They're doing great with girls like Deonna Purrazzo and stuff like that. But even New Japan doesn't have that good of a women's roster. Not as good as NXT anyway.
The main card has a very good roster if you go to like their core 5 or 6 girls they have. But just writing, time they give the women, their matches, it's a mess. Whereas, as always, NXT gives these girls a chance to showcase and show you how talented they really are. It's definitely NXT is the most enjoyable women's division in all wrestling.
Yeah. Plus, you got to remember, like on the main roster, like Becky Lynch is out, Charlotte Flair's out, Nikki Cross is out. Like all their top women's talent is pretty much on the shelf, at least for a little while.
Yeah,
Bayley and Sasha are in a feud with each other at the moment. I mean, that's pretty major. So, I mean, it is true that NXT is the best women's roster ever. I mean,
not
is
ever.
Absolutely true.
Just currently. Not ever, not in the history of time.
Yeah, all time, future, and past. Right now, it's the best it's ever going to be. It'll never be any better than it absolutely is right now.
All right, folks, I think it's about that time we shine a spotlight on somebody and make sure they get the credit that they deserve. We're doing it with a segment called Who Wins Wrestling? Who wins wrestling? Blah, 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 blah. Who wants to go? Who's got somebody?
I'll go. I'm going Kyle O'Reilly. I'm going Kyle O'Reilly. He's always played second fiddle in the not even second, because really they pushed Roddy for a long time too. And Undisputed.
Third fiddle.
He's third fiddle, yes. And then see him step up on a platform against a wrestler like Finn Balor, and it took him 2 weeks to make you care about him. The writing, the videos, and just showed you what kind of guy he is. And the match does not disappoint. And hopefully it propels him to another level in NXT. I mean, surely he's been there long enough. So hopefully that does something very well for him. And we'll see where it goes with the Undisputed split up. And yeah, your boy dresses like a low rent Sheamus. We'll see what goes on with that.
Low rent Sheamus. Cory, what do you got?
I'm gonna say Damian Priest. That incredible match that he had against Johnny Wrestling.
The Chocolate Gargano.
Yeah, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano. It was really good, and it's funny because like I saw a news article this week in wrestling saying that like the WWE executives really see like a big bright future in Damian Priest, and they were like, oh well, they looked it up like, well, Johnny Gargano is going to be the good guy to like get him over, so like putting him over and like having him be the North American champion, which is kind of like the Intercontinental champion to the Heavyweight Championship in NXT, what that is in WWE, as far as like the workhorse title, I guess if you'd say. Right. So it's I'm just really interested to see where they're going to go with Damian Priest, and I've been kind of saying it for years, so I hope it's something cool.
Honestly, it was the best match I've seen him in NXT so far. I thought that was his. Finally, I mean, he's been there for a minute, but I think that was his breakout match. I think it's the best I've seen him. So good for him.
Yeah, it's hard to have a bad match with Gargano, man. He brings out the best in everybody, and Damian Priest is no exception, man. He did great. Not that Damian Priest can't have a good match by himself, but that was by far the best match so far of him in NXT, if you ask me. So I agree with you there. As far as who wins wrestling for me, I got to go Kushida. It's a match we didn't really talk about too much with Velveteen Dream, but they're finally letting Kushida. Like I think I talked about this last week. They're finally letting Kushida be Kushida, like who he was in New Japan. There was a year ago, Undisputed Era picked him up and threw him in a trash can, and they literally threw him in the trash. And now he's finally being who he needs to be and who he is and who he can be. Yeah. So they're finally realizing what they have, that the star power. Like when he first came in, he had this big contract signing with Triple H. Oh, we got Kushida. And then they did nothing with him for a year, for over a year. And now they're finally, it's like, oh yeah, we have this guy that's amazing. Can we start using that guy, please? So they're finally, they're all calling him the new Kushida. He's not the new Kushida. He's the old Kushida.
He's just wearing jeans now. He just wears.
Dude, he did his, what is it called? The hoverboard lock, his Kimura. He did he basically did a Spanish fly with a Kimura.
Yes.
With Velveteen Dream and still held the move and didn't break his arm in the process by accident. Yeah. It blew my mind. Like, Kushida's that good.
What was really distracting to me in that match?
What's that?
I liked it, but Velveteen Dream, his hair and his yellow gloves.
He was doing Doc Brown.
I understand what he was going for, but he looked like. You remember when they found that homeless guy on the street who had the golden voice? He's like, "Oh, the ones and the twos," and like. That radio DJ voice on that homeless guy. That's what Velveteen Dream looked like.
I agree. I having to take a break doing the live stream between the two matches, between the Damian Priest match and the Velveteen Dream match, and I came back and Dream was just standing there with white pants, yellow gloves, and like sprayed white hair, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And I'm just staring. I'm like, I'm trying to watch this match, and it's good. It's a really good match, but all I can focus on is his hair. Like, what is going on? What is happening? Is this permanent? I didn't see the entrance. I didn't see what happened.
It's just sad. Apparently, like Velveteen has like issues in the back.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, he's on the downside. Hopefully, that'll change because I really think that's a waste of talent if they just start punishing that kid.
Well, his heat is not because he's unprofessional. It's not. It has nothing to do with his talent. His heat has to do with like some grooming stuff, like some like grooming underage girls through text messages, and it's just he's lucky he's got a job at this point.
A lot of people are going out and saying that they should just get rid of him. The story, as I heard it, was that he was texting a girl that he didn't know was underage, and then there were some pictures exchanged. But then I heard some other stories, so I don't know what's true and what's not. WWE apparently did a full investigation, and they said that he didn't do anything wrong, and Dream is not being charged with anything. So, I mean, what WWE needs to do, and what I'm hoping is what they're doing, is that they're going to take him off TV for like 6 months until this all blows over, and then they can bring him back. I'm hoping that's what they did with the whole attacking him after the bell and the arm injury and everything else. But props to him he sold that arm through the entire match, and at one point I legit thought that it was seriously broken or separated or something like that, because he sold it through the whole thing, and he looked like he was saying. Yeah, he made me a believer.
Oh, and one thing, can we just, to you, WWE, stop being immature and stop putting Lana through the announcement table every week.
I thought you were going to be like, "Hey, WWE, this is a song for you. This is called." I thought you were going to do like
stop putting Lana through tables. Stop putting Lana through tables.
Give me the round and around. There's a surefire way.
Yeah, man, it's 3 weeks in a row they put Lana through a table. It's like, this is for your husband. It's very petty and immature, but whatever. It is what it is. It's Lana. Like, are you gonna miss her when she's gone?
No, but she still doesn't deserve that treatment.
I know. Yeah. It is a little rough, especially from Nia Jax of all people. Like, the girl that's famous for injuring people. Like, come on, man. Poor Lana. Dude, you already took away her accent. What else do you want? All right, man. I think we're about done here, man. It's another episode of Wrestle Rock. What do you got, Mark? You got anything to plug?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Whichever, this way. I can never figure this thing out. There we go.
Over there. Cory, what do you got, man? What's going on?
Here, check it. Right there.
Right there.
Follow me on the Instagrams and the Twitter at Cory Castle, CoryKastle. I had to spell it out for those who are listening to the audio and not watching the video, where I'm pointing at the name on the screen.
Yes, sir.
I really quick want to give a shout out to Matt Tremont and H2O Wrestling, based out of Williamstown, New Jersey. They got a really cool product. I was there yesterday for the H2O Undiscovered. I had a really cool match with this kid named Sean Henderson. Chuck Payne was there. Eric Martin was there. Tony Valero was there. There was a lot of really good talent there, mixed in with, his students and a bunch of other people that I really knew. Like, remember Mark Angel?
Yeah.
Remember his son that he used to bring around?
No.
He used to bring not Mark Angel, not Mark Angel from WPW. I'm talking about Mark Angel, the dude with the mustache and like shaved head.
I don't remember. I don't remember ever knowing another Mark Angel.
Oh, there was two Mark Angels in PA. Yeah,
okay.
But the other Mark Angel, Mark spelled with a C. His son is now in wrestling. His son is now had a match against Matt Tremont at the show last night, and they killed it, man. So I mean, continued success to Matt Tremont. I know he's right on his way out, like as far as in ring stuff. And I think Mischief Night is going to be his last match at H2O, and I'm just excited. So I mean, obviously the same plugs. If you're listening to the show, if you're watching the show and you enjoy it, leave a comment below. Tell us how you feel. Make sure we know you exist. Hit subscribe, like. Check out my podcast, Evolving with Cory Castle. New episodes drop every Monday on iTunes and Spotify. Also, Amazon Music now carries Evolving with Cory Castle. And check out my YouTube channel, which is Cory Castle. Just look that up on YouTube, and you can see the videos of these conversations that I'm having.
YouTube.com/Cory Castle, I believe, right?
I don't know. Probably.
You should probably find out if you're going to plug it.
Probably.
Rick, plug stuff before the sun goes down and it goes dark in my house.
Yeah. All right. My plugs are real quick, man. Check out my YouTube channel. You might be watching this right now on my YouTube channel. It's tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor, and that's CONNOR. You can find all kinds of wrestling matches starring myself, starring Cory Castle, starring Nick Burke, all kinds of different, and starring some people that you know, like Tito Santana and Tony Atlas and Scotty Tuhati and all kinds of people that you actually know. What is it? Nikolai Volkov, yeah.
He broke that dude's nose. He broke the hell out of that dude's nose. Watch that right on Rick's YouTube page right now.
You want to see Nikolai Volkov break JD Michaels' nose? You can definitely check that out on my YouTube channel.
Check out just punch some jabroni right in the nose.
Check out my other podcast that I do with Mark's sister, Karen. It's called It's Something to Do. Right now, we're doing a whole bunch of Halloween episodes where we're getting real people to tell real ghost stories, things that actually happen to them. So check that out. That's going to be on iTunes and wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our Teespring shop. It's teespring.com/stores/rassle-rock. Everything on the site is connected to a different charity. So when you're buying some merchandise from us, you're helping somebody else out, which is very, very cool. That, I believe, is all I have. And that will be it for this episode of Wrestle Rock. I'm Rick Connor.
Mark Hallbacher.
Cory Castle.
And let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Wrestle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.